Welcome back. So it's player ranking times following the Stormers game and final test selection for me. But most importantly, I want you guys to vote. Copy and paste the link in the description below to vote for your starting 15. And I'll come back in a couple of days with the results of that vote. There's another link below to a previous vote, which is who's going to win the series as well. So please do both of those. But let's get into this game, rank these players, and then see if that changes my test team. So this is the first slide is always what it was in the game before. So this is after the South Africa A game. And then the next slide is what it was like after the Stormers game. So here we go after the Stormers game on loose head prop. Sutherland I thought had a good showing in the loose. I mean, no props really been able to dominate the scrum. Now, let me know, you prop experts out there, you scrummaging experts, why don't we get these good pushing contests that we see sometimes? Why is it all very technical? But anyway, decent performance. Mako came on and his tour has improved as it's gone on. Decent impact, but I think it is too little too late. I'm still on starting Wyn Jones with the substitution of Sutherland. Hooker time, and it was really close I thought before this game, but I had Cowan-Dickie slightly ahead even though I was using him off the bench in my test 23. But this really was a man of the match performance, pushes him right up there. Line out throwing, exceptional. All round the park, exceptional. Turnovers, so he deserves to start. I had George just ahead, so he is the sub for that test 23. Now, into those loose heads. Again, Furlong, a bit like Sutherland. Good games and big plays in attack and defence. Didn't manage to dominate that messy scrum, but hey, I'm still got him miles ahead for the test start. But Fagerson came on, showed skill, not quite the impact I thought Sinclair's had in other games, but very close for the sub. But Sinclair is the sub with Furlong the starter. Now, second row, plenty of second rows with Alun Wyn Jones back. Beard and Hill started, and good games for these two. Definitely the best game for Hill on tour. But the big man role is sewn up by Beard, I'd say. Class performance in the line-out. Nice line for his try. I've had him starting. He still is starting with the Toje for me. So this is how I have them now. Alun Wyn Jones came on, look fit, look lively, great to see, but 25 minutes I think is not enough to break his way into the starting team or even the 23. But I will come back actually with a video on what I think Gatland will field and how Alun Wyn Jones maybe might sneak into that or not. There's no specialist sub spot for a second row in my team. I'm going for a 5-3 split. I want the extra backs just so we don't get caught out positionally in the test matches. Let's go to the flankers, always hotly contested. I think Gatland has come out and said this is going to be super, super hard. Hamish Watson played and just rarely loses an attacking or defensive contest. Very assured, maybe not a highlight reel of a game, but a really good game. Byrne looked classy and he's so good linking the play, turnovers, handling. Does he displace Laws on the bench in my test 23? Yes, I think he does just. Laws, I think he's nursing a bit of an injury as well. It's very close. If you want a tighter game, maybe you go Laws. If you want to actually move the ball, which it looks like the Lions want to, then maybe Byrne. So starting, I've got Curry 6, Hamish Watson 7. The sub is Byrne, who's covering second row and 6. Into number 8, so that's how I had it after the Stormers game for back row with Byrne pushing right up there. Into number 8, I had Taulupe Faletau slightly ahead after this game. The same, but I think Conan pushes up to absolutely consummate skills. He's just got a great game awareness. He knows how to play rugby. Typical modern forward. He's the next closest guy, I think, to start alongside Faletau. The bench is very, very tricky. If you want pure power and speed, I think you go Simmons. If you want someone who could come in, link the play a little bit more, slightly better hands, but Simmons is no slouch, you go Conan. So I think I'm going Conan, so at the moment on the bench, but it is close. So Faletau to start, Conan coming on. Now, scrum half is fascinating just to think what Gatland might do, but for me, Price is miles ahead. After this Stormers game, I think he, is clearly ahead. Gareth Davis came on, but it's another cameo role for him. Decent enough outing, but he needed more of a chance, really, I think. So hard to push him too much higher than that. Price miles ahead. Good ruck ball speed, wanted to speed up the game, always alert. Definitely the best scrum half on tour. So he starts for me. I'm having Murray on the bench just for his experience, but Gareth Davis, you could certainly argue, could deserve a bench spot as well. Fly half. Marcus Smith came into the tour. Fantastic game. It's a good game to play against, not playing South Africa A, but he kicked well, he ran well, tackled well as well, and creates space, and he's dangerous. You've got to watch this guy. Sure, he's only had one game, but I think it's enough to get him on the bench. So exciting. I've got my 5-3 split on the bench anyway, so I don't need a player like Farrell who can play 12 as well as 10, so Smith is my sub. Bigger staying as the starter. That's exciting. If you want to bring a number 10 on to change the game, to create something, it's Smith all day long, isn't it? Class act. So that's how I have it now, with Smith pushing right up after that Stormers game. Centres. Tricky. Do you go for Daly at 13 with his extra kicking, his extra passing skills? Or, tackling is okay, but Harris is a bigger defender, maybe a bit more reliable. Do you go for him at 13? Well, actually, I think maybe you go for Harris at 12. He came on, replaced Henshaw. Henshaw just needed that game. He was struggling a little bit as he came off, but, that was good to get a game under his bench. I think he does indeed go on the bench in my Test 23. And the two best centres are Harris and Daly, so let's just play them both. Let me know if you think that's a bad move and you should go for Henshaw or maybe Aki at 12, or maybe even Harris at 13. Moving on to that other crazy close contest on the wing, Adams and Van der Merwe. Always nasty and dangerous, committing players. Didn't have the perfect games, not their best game on tour, but certainly a decent game. Reece Ammett came on. It's just lightning quick, simple as that. I don't think there's any change in the pecking order. It's really whatever wing combination you put together is going to be high quality. So I'm going with Adams and Watson just to cover all the bases, but that's incredibly harsh on Van der Merwe and Reece Ammett, so I really don't mind what back three you go for, but that's the back three I'm going for. No spot on the bench, I'm afraid, for a specialist wing cover in my team. Fullback, Hogg got to play, made a few mistakes early on, but then a lot of players did in the greasy conditions, but he got a lot better as the game went on. Very dangerous attacker, certainly a more dangerous attacking option than Williams, a good leader as well. So he starts, Hogg starts, and again, no bench spot available for a fullback. So there we go, Hogg just pushing ahead of Williams. So here's my final test team. If you don't agree, that's absolutely fine. Hopefully you enjoyed my step-by-step thinking after each game as to how I got to this situation. So please do vote though for your starting team, for your 23. Follow the link below, copy and paste. I'm going to come back in a few days. I'm going to be fascinated to see what you guys, the viewers, choose as your test team on aggregate. So here we go. Wyn Jones, Cameron Dickey, Furlong, Atoje and Beard. Both Curry and Hamish Watson I'm going for. Byrne very unlucky not to start, but he's on the bench. Price is the best 9. Bigger at 10. Harris and Daly, the two outstanding centres, going 12 for Harris, 13 for Daly. Adams and Anthony Watson. Stuart Hogg is 15 and he is captaining this side. Then George Sutherland, Sinclair, Byrne and Conan, so two back row options on the bench with Byrne covering second row. And then Murray and Smith as specialists, 9 and 10s. And then Henshaw covering centres and the back three indeed on the bench. So let me know what you think of that team, that 23. Get that vote in for your 23, or your starting 15, I should say. And I'll catch you guys next time.